Mike, check 1 2 1 2. It's the Y2K collector, and patience worked out in my favor. So, as many of you know, last year I was able to find a copy of The Godfather, the Don's edition, and I picked this copy up during one of GameStop's buy to get one deals. And this game, it just looked cool. The reason why I grabbed it was because I didn't remember seeing this PS3 game at any GameStop before. And when I looked at some gameplay footage, it kind of looked like a little bit like a Grand Theft Auto. It looked like a 1960s, 19 maybe a little older, maybe 1940s version of like a Grand Theft Auto. Just in the gameplay, it had beat 'em up elements to it. It also had some run and gun kind of shooter elements to it, and it just followed an interesting story, a very interesting movie, The Godfather. It's set in New York, which also added just a cool feel to it as well. And so I snagged the game, and when I was inputting it into GameEye was when I realized that this is actually one of the most expensive games on the PlayStation 3. Now, I knew when I picked it up, this cover art had some real damage. I don't know who decided to color the Godfather in yellow highlighter, but that was done to the game. Also, the game did have this old school like GameStop sticker on it as well. So it just the cover art and the game wasn't in the best of, well, not the game, but the cover art and the case wasn't in the best condition. This is actually a case swap. I actually put the cover art in a new case because the other case had jaundice. It was yellowing something crazy. But then even when you look at the manual, so the manual smelt extremely molded. Like, I don't know if you've ever had anything get wet in a basement and kind of just sit there, but this had the smell of something that had just been molding away in a basement. And so, you know, when you look at the actual manual, you could tell that it had been sitting in water because the staples on the manual were actually rusting, which is crazy. I had never seen anything like that. And then once I actually opened the manual up, like if you open the manual up to the middle, you'll see that the actual staples in the manual were rusting to the point where there were rust chips coming from the staples. So, and then you can't smell this. Unfortunately, we haven't invented smell-o-vision yet. But if you smell this, it just smells like just moldy basement, like really bad. But I still picked it up because I figured I would use some dryer sheets and things like that to try to remove the smell. Didn't get all the smell out, but I knew the most important part was the actual disc, which was in a good working condition. Had a pretty good smell to it. A smell to it. Well, the disc didn't smell too bad, but again, it's plastic. You could just wipe it off. But the disc was in good condition. The game worked, and so I told myself, you know what? I'm eventually going to run into a better case and manual, and that day has finally come. So I'm happy to be able to kind of migrate this disc. I'm going to take this disc out of here and make a little swaparoo happen. And now we have a 8 out of 10, 9 out of 10 version of The Godfather with no GameStop stickers on it, no highlighter, and this is in pretty good condition. And these are the things that collectors do. These are some of the things that collectors do to improve their collection. Not every collector cares about condition. Not every collector cares about games being complete in box. Every collector is different. Every collector has different standards for what they're willing to pick up. And if you're someone who does a lot of like yard sale game hunting and you tend to find a lot of things in the wild, a lot of times you're okay with picking up games that probably aren't in the best condition because of what you're paying for them, right? Like if you're paying $2 for a $100 game, it's not going to matter to you if the case is destroyed or anything like that, just considering how cheap you're getting the game for. And that's going to vary from place to place. But for me, Whether I buy a game at a yard sale, a thrift store, a retro game store, GameStop, regardless of where I get it from, if I get the game and I see an ability to upgrade the game, upgrade the condition, I'm gonna go ahead and do that. And it's just a part of, improving the collection. Coming out of 2024 and coming into 2025, we said 2025 was going to be the year of all killer, no filler. And a part of just making the collection killer is just making sure that everything is in as good of a condition as possible. So was glad for that. I recently did the same thing when it came to this copy of Shadow of the Ninja. This is a game that I thoroughly enjoy. And I had a copy that had been sitting in the sun too long. So it was really sun faded. It was starting to turn like this mustard brownish, yellowish, greenish. It just, that nasty color that some of these cartridges can take on. And when I was able to get my hands on a really clean, this is like a really fresh copy. This copy is so clean that it makes me want to see if I can find the box and the manual. That's how clean this is. But I really like this game. Even the cover art. I love the colors on the cover art. I think this is one of the better looking cover arts when it comes to Super Nintendo games. And so these were two really solid upgrades that I was able to make happen this week. In other news, I went on to Best Buy's website, because I do plan on using that gift card that I got to start adding to the Switch collection. There aren't as many cool Switch games on GameStop's website as I thought there were. So I'm thinking about doing something with that gift card. I'll keep you guys in the loop on that and let you know which direction I go there. Also, I think GameStop, during this Pro Week, I think they lowered the price of their used PlayStation 5 Slims with the disc drive. I think you can pick one up now for $389 if I'm not mistaken, which isn't the best, but it's not horrible. I know that the lowest I had seen the PS5 Slim with the disc drive was like $349 refurbished. That was around the holidays. So, I doubt we get that low for a while, but I'm thinking, I've got my eyes, I'm thinking about making a few things happen, but we'll see what happens here over the next couple weeks. And then lastly, in a bit of news, I do have a pretty significant trade that's bubbling up. I think you guys are going to be pretty stoked with this trade. I'm going to be utilizing, it's probably going to use up everything that I have in the trade war chest. It just might. So I'm trying to prepare myself for that. But I've got a few things that I'm looking at, a few things that I'm working on in terms of games that I'm going to be trading away. So I'll keep you guys in the loop on that. Was totally stoked for the condition upgrade. Let me know what you guys think about either of these games, The Godfather and Shadow of the Ninja, if you've played these games. And then also I put a poll out, not a poll, but I just kind of put a post in my community tab asking you guys, would you rather see? Would you rather see my Sega Genesis collection update, or would you rather see my original PlayStation collection as they stand right now? I think I have probably equally the amount of PlayStation games that I do Sega Genesis games. It's probably somewhere in the neighborhood of 40 to 45 games a piece. So let me know, and I'll try to put a video like that together for you guys. But that does it for me. I'm going to go ahead and run and hook up some dinner for the fam, and maybe I'll be back with another video tonight. But until then, I'll catch you. It's the Y2K Collector. Take it easy.